What's up, everybody? It's your boy Sir Splash, and per popular request, when I say popular, I mean the most requests on my channel so far, probably. I'm doing a debunk gauntlet. Now, unfortunately, I did the first run through with my boy Skinny, and the file corrupted, so I have to redo it on my own, which means I'm just gonna say the matchups we went through, and then give a synopsis of what I said on the spot. Now, the rules for the gauntlet was Skinny made a list of 10 different videos from DanCo, the results from DanCo, and some of the things DanCo said that he knew I'd disagree with. And then I have 2 minutes on the spot to rebuttal and give a debunk without any prep or prior knowledge of the matchups. Only one I knew would be on there was Superior Spider-Man and Batman Who Laughs, because that's my most requested debunk. So I told Skinny to make sure it's on there. But yeah, we did 10. And if you like these 10 matchups that I debunked, we will go ahead and drop a part 2, and we'll make sure Skinny's in that one moderating. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the matchups we went over. First one he presented was Boba Fett versus Master Chief. Now, he stated that DanCo claimed if Boba runs in gun blazing, he loses every time, as it's not his style. Rather, he is the Batman of Star Wars and would rather study him. Claims Master Chief is physically stronger than Fett and can only win when he's fighting at range, referring to Fett, but not in a full-on fight with Chief, which is why he said Master Chief wins. No, Boba Fett stomps. Apparently, DanCo used EU Fett as well. This Boba Fett scales easily to Jedi Masters, the likes of which have given even like Darth Kaitis issues. So basically, Jaina Solo approached Boba Fett, who is 70 at the time. He's an old man, and said, yo, I need help taking down Kaitis. Boba's like, that's silly because I couldn't even take Kaitis, but I'll help you. And he one-shotted her in training. And this was casually, and he's 70 years old. And we know this isn't an outlier because 13-year-old Boba resembled nearly Jango and his effectiveness in a battle. And Obi-Wan Kenobi briefly thought it was Jango who had come back. That's how fast he was. And Obi-Wan can one-shot Wookiees and go hand-to-hand with Wookiees. And 13-year-old Boba was like threatening to break his bones. So yeah, Jango is much faster and at least as strong as Master Chief. I've never seen FTL feats for Master Chief, but if there is some, go ahead and comment them. But consistently, Jango's on that level, seeing as he can react to dozens of laser blasts easily, scales to Darth Vader. He fought Darth Vader evenly and came out, alive, which is pretty impressive, especially in the EU. He's able to combat several Jedi at once, several Sith at once, all the top bounty hunters. So yeah, he would be just fine. He's one of the best hand-to-hand fighters in the galaxy, period. And he's capable of going hand-to-hand with Jedi and Sith without any issues. So yeah, he would easily take down Master Chief. That's just ridiculous. Anyways, moving on, his next fight he presented was Thor versus Spawn. Apparently DanCo claimed that Thor is too durable for Spawn, as he's taken hits from people far stronger than Spawn. And he showed a picture of him getting hit by Thanos. And he's resistant to all of Spawn's hacks and magic and is too powerful. Now, the issue with Thor and Thor fanboys, while Thor is one of my favorite comic book characters, I think I put him at 2 or 3. He's shown random abilities over the years, over thousands of appearances, but he's never shown them consistently. So, for example, teleporting, he doesn't do that all the time. Magic absorption doesn't do that all the time. Soul manip doesn't do that all the time. Matter manip rarely does that. So it's not like he's just going to spam these things. People always try to act like Thor spams them. He doesn't. He likes to hit people with his hammer and use lightning. That's his main attacks. If you want to argue lightning, storm manip, and hammer attacks aren't his main attacks, you can kick rocks because you're ridiculous. But anyway, Spawn can bring him to his dimension where he's considered omnipresent and just body him there, given the speed difference. With omnipresence in a dimension, he could seal him, he can absorb his attacks and negate them, and I believe it's divine weaponry that needs to bring down Spawn, so he should be fine against Thor. I see Spawn taking it pretty easily. His speed gap is going to be an issue once they go to that dimension, and Thor likes to fight, so he's not going to run from Spawn. He's not going to leave that dimension. He's going to fight him there. So yeah, all he has to do is wrap them up into cape teleport. Boom, they're in that dimension, and Thor gets bodied. Moving on, the one everyone asked for, he had at number 3, Batman Who Laughs versus Superior Spider-Man. Apparently DanCo states it'll be impossible for Batman Who Laughs to get out of the webbing and is Bruce, but without brute strength, and he's insane. Because Superior Spider-Man is physically superior, he would overpower Batman Who Laughs. This is absurd. If you've seen any of the Dark Knight Metal runs with Batman Who Laughs, he's done some crazy stuff. Apparently defeated the Spectre. He's figured out how to break in magical dimensions. He has these like cards that warp reality. He has a gun, and this is what seals it for me. He has a gun with 8th metal, and it's so strong that it one-shot Wonder Woman casually. So if you want to argue Superior Spider-Man is, above Wonder Woman in durability, go ahead and make yourself look like an ass. But yeah, he's got a one-shot Spider-Man if he even gets close, or he has the distance too with the gun. And he's smart enough to lead Spider-Man into getting hit. People act like Spider-Man's never been led into an attack. As soon as Batman Who Laughs figures out that he has some kind of precog based on the way he moves, he would be able to lead him into an attack. And it's a lot harder to hurt Batman Who Laughs than it is regular Batman. People act like that's not the case, but it's actually explained that Batman Who Laughs is because he's from a different dimension. Positive matter beings don't do that much damage to him. That's why he was bodying regular Batman. So yeah, Batman Who Laughs with his 8th metal especially should completely tear through Superior Spider-Man and kill him. Number 4, he put Luke Skywalker versus Samurai Jack. Apparently DanCo claims Luke has never shown as high a level of skill as Jack, and we need to rely on his force abilities. First off, even if that was the case, his force abilities would be far in between, easily enough to carry him. He says that this is his great saving grace, which would let him hang with Jack's superior physical strength. But Jack's physical superiority would body, as he's faster, stronger, and more durable than Luke. Don't know where he's getting that from. Luke is faster than Boba Fett, who casually gets the drop on Jedi Masters and Sith, and he's been able to go toe-to-toe with Vader, and Boba couldn't even draw on Luke. Luke was blitzing Darth Vader in their final encounter. He's skilled enough to go toe-to-toe with Vader. He's one of the most skilled duelists of all time. With basically, he became so skilled that he perfectly blended styles and was practically inventing his own. He has insane precog, danger sense, force augmentation, casually FTL because of how he can react to lasers. Yeah, it's Luke blitzes Jack. He could hold him with the force and just cut him in half. Like, there's a lot of things. And I don't think Samurai Jack has any psychological negation for something like a Jedi mind trick, which Luke is famous for. He would just mind trick Jack into dropping his weapon and cut his head off. So, yeah, I don't see Samurai Jack having any semblance of a chance in this one. His Star Wars scaling is so bad. Next one up, Skinny mentioned, was Grandmaster Luke versus Grandmaster Yoda. Apparently he mentions Luke's Kaidos feat, then talks about movie feats. That's weird because EU scales massively above the movies. States that Luke has shown abilities Yoda has never shown, like Shatterpoint. That is true, but Yoda would be familiar with Shatterpoint, and I'm not sure what his Shatterpoint would even be, if it would work that effectively on Yoda. Shatterpoint's supposed to point out your weaknesses, your faults. Yoda doesn't really have one. He says Luke is physically stronger and faster and far superior in the Force. Depends on which Luke you're using. Typically, yeah, but he's not that much better of a duelist that he's gonna just tear through Yoda. Yoda's easily gonna be able to hold his own. Kaidos scales a little bit above Vader as a duelist. Yoda scales above Vader as a duelist. And then you have someone like Mace, who scales above Vader, and someone like lost my train of thought. But anyways, so if you go from Vader, Mace scales above Vader. You could maybe put Kaidos at Mace level, although I wouldn't. But Yoda still scales above him, so they should be relative in dueling. It's just going to come down to stamina, which Luke has more of. That's the only reason he really wins, unless you're using end of EU Luke, which I doubt he did. So Moving on, we have, by the way, you could tell I'm going off the cuff because I literally got lost. But anyways, next up he had Mr. Mxyzptlk versus Thanos. He claims Thanos is a universal threat with the Gauntlet, whereas Mxyzptlk is multiversal. And this isn't even a fight, and the only way Thanos could win is to trick him. Don't know where he got Thanos only universal at. He's probably stupid and thinks because there's been statements about the Infinity Gauntlet can only be used in its home universe that it's only universal and it's AP. That's absurd. He's been able to fight abstracts with the Gauntlet, attack beings who are multiversal in strength. That's easily the case. And Mxyzptlk's above regular multiversal. That's like insane to even ponder. He's been able to casually destroy like infinite multiverses and was in the danger of destroying everything. Presence had to come slap him. So Mxyzptlk has shown far beyond regular multiversal. So yeah, his scaling for these two characters is just asinine. Moving on. Next one he put is MCU Hulk versus Steppenwolf. I guess DanCo claimed that Steppenwolf is far faster, more skilled than Hulk, and can hang with Hulk in terms of strength, but Hulk being more durable and stronger and faster would beat him because Steppenwolf is inconsistent. Now, I don't think Steppenwolf is that inconsistent. He was just surprised by Superman's amp, his boom tube amp. And we know Superman scales to Flash. Flash should be around light speed in the movies. He's at least significantly faster than Hulk, and he should tear through Hulk. And Hulk is vulnerable to piercing attacks. We saw this with Fenrir. So Steppenwolf's axe should be able to hurt him, and he should be too fast for Hulk. Next up, he had Skinny presented Daredevil versus Talon. He claims Talon could simply be restrained and could have his healing factor overwhelmed via beating him up because Batman did it. I believe the first time Batman even encountered Talon, Talon nearly killed him. Batman had to escape. The Talons are very skilled combatants. I don't know why DanCo seemed to downplay them in this matchup. At least that's what it appears to be. Talon threatened to nearly kill Batman. He has the healing factor. And this is a random encounter, and he has his poisons and claws and stuff like that. So in a random encounter, Daredevil's not going to have prep or intel. Batman had that when he was tearing through Talon eventually. And we know how Batman is with prep. He's God. So, in a random encounter, I'd probably favor Talon 6 to 7 times out of 10 because he scales to Batman in skill as multiple deadly weapons and a healing factor. So you GG. Daredevil will give him a good fight, but 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, I give it to Talon. Next up, Skinny presented Moon Knight versus Ra's al Ghul, or Ra's al Ghul, however you want to call it. He claimed, I guess, Moon Knight's carbonadium armor and pain tolerance will give him a big advantage, and his versatility and weapons would give him the win. DanCo's scaling of Moon Knight is very inconsistent. He puts him in random spots. I think Ra's should win. He should be more skilled as he easily scales to Batman. A lot of times when he's fighting Batman, people forget there's like a caveat. He wants Batman to replace him, or he knows Talia is in love with Batman, or he knows his grandson comes from Batman. So it's kind of like the Deathstroke effect, where a lot of times Deathstroke isn't even fighting to kill Batman, and then like people want to say Deathstroke and Batman are even. They're not. Deathstroke's a monster. Ra's al Ghul has slight healing factor, slight physical enhancements from the pit, thousands of years of knowledge. He should be able to beat Moon Knight fair about 6-7 times out of 10. Moon Knight's a beast, but Ra's al Ghul is just as monstrous and is easily top 5 fighter in his verse, whereas Moon Knight's arguably top 10. I'd put him top 10, but it's arguable. Last matchup that Skinny presented was Luke Cage versus Rhino. I guess DanCo had said on paper Rhino should win as he's stronger and more durable, and the horn would mess up Luke Cage. But based on feats and because Rhino is dumb, Luke would win. This is a bad matchup. Luke Cage should raffle stomp Rhino. I don't see that horn piercing Luke Cage at all. I guess DanCo forgot about impenetrable skin, and while it's a no limits fallacy to say like nothing can pierce his skin, that Rhino horn does not scale to something like Wolverine's claws. So get the hell out of here. Luke's a better fighter. He's more skilled. Luke has been able to tangle with and even beat the Thing and fight the entire Fantastic Four. I believe it was Luke Cage issue 7 or issue 9 where he fought the entire Fantastic Four by himself and held them off easily. Like the Thing couldn't even do anything to him, and Thing historically scales to Hulk every time they fight. Not necessarily above Hulk, but he scales to Hulk. And Hulk would, pimp slap Rhino one shot. So Luke is by far stronger. I don't know why he said Rhino's stronger. That's like saying Spider-Man scales to Luke Cage in strength. He really doesn't. And Luke would just out-grapple him, out-skill him, and tear him to pieces 8 to 9 times out of 10. Anyways, those are the first 10 battles debunked in under 20 minutes. It went a little over 20 minutes the first time because it was the first run through, but here, unfortunately, I had to give like a synopsis of what me and Skinny talked about. Anyways, if you want to see the next 10 DanCo videos debunked, the part 2, hit the like button. If you want to talk to me on Discord, join my Patreon. It's only $1 and you get to join the server. I think that's a very good deal. You can join the Splash Dollar Club, or you can join the better tiers for more perks. Anyways, like, subscribe, comment. It's been your boy Sir Splash. Shout out to Skinny, who wasn't in this recording but helped me with the initial video, and I will see y'all later. Peace.